Alright, what's going on? Today I'm going to show you how to make beats for Dom Corleo. Let's get straight into it. So Dom Corleo's been lucky having like a comeback recently. He's been dropping a lot of new fire music. I've been fucking with Dom Corleo for a while now. I think he's super tough, but he always got hated on. Anyways, he's low-key back now though, dropping crazy songs, and this is kind of in the style of his new stuff. Cool, like wavy ambient shit. Let's get straight into that. First off, this video is a collaboration with my boy Trillin. I did the loop, and then I had him drum the loop, and then I'm gonna have him record his little drum breakdown, and y'all can see that. Let me know if y'all fuck with these type of videos where I can like collab with other producers. Yeah, let's get straight into this. This first layer is just these two sounds. It's the Warm Heart preset from Xenology, and then it's this pad sound called Pad Drive from Rod Made It Serum Bank Volume 1. And I layered those two things and add some effects on them, and I kind of got like a really cool sound. So, and then on this harp, I'm just kind of laying down some basic chords and just like strumming. And then I go up to D sharp here, you know, bring that chord up so it's in key, and then F, and then bring all these notes up. I can't really explain what my thought was, but everything just kind of built and it goes up. Yeah, I'm just using notes that sound good together and kind of give like an ambient kind of cool melodic feel. Here's what the first sound sounds like, and then it also has some EFX fragments on it and spaced out. First off, it's reverse textures preset, and then EFX fragments on the 25% speed preset, and then OTT to compress it, and then also just this pad in the background just kind of to add some ambience. And on that pad I'm adding a little bit of EFX fragments too, and together these sound like this. So I ended up just leaving that back back part blank, and I exported it out and compressed it a little bit more using OTT, and I got this. So after that, it's this layer right here. Made this in Serum, just using like the key gulp. I just laid down a few simple notes here, added some effects, sauced it up, and that just acts like an ambient layer in the background. So here's what this sounds like. So that just has the EFX fragments on it, the On the Crotchets preset, and then some Portal as well. This Float preset, just kind of saucing it up, making it a little bit more ambient. Then I exported that out, and this is what that layer sounds like. So with that, I went up 2, and then I also added OTT to bring out like the high end and mid, EFX fragments again, this Past Live preset, and then a delay to make it more ambient. After that, it's just these two sounds I got from Splice. So this is like a cello sound. It's a cool ambient, like drawn out type of sound here. So I got that from Splice, and that sounds like this. So that's cool, pretty dark, and I added OTT on that, and EQ to just boost and take out certain frequencies, and then reverb to make it more ambient, and then finally it's this song starter, again from Splice, and then there's a bass, so I'll break it down after that. So this is definitely like a crucial part of the melody. In terms of effects, I added some OTT to compress it, and then delay to make it more ambient. And finally, a bass. This bass is from Serum. This is the bass cake. It's from my boy Heyitsshark's Honey Hive kit. And I just laid down these simple notes here. These are 2 up from before. I went up to F minor, and I got this. So yeah, it's just a simple bass line, and that is the whole melody. So I'll play what it sounds like, and I'll pass it over to Trillin so he can tell you what he did with the drums. And then before I pass this over to Trillin, I want to tell you this loop right here and 30 other loops are going to be in my Fracture loop kit. I dropped that with Ziad. It's on my site right now. You can go check that out. Totally free. I'm trying to give you some more loops, kind of like this, cool ambient stuff, virtual stuff, melodic stuff. And yeah, here's the full melody.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Trillin, and today we're gonna be breaking down these drums for this Dom Corleo beat. Yeah, shout out Shark, he sent me this crazy loop, and yeah, we're just gonna get right into these drums, so let's do it. So the first thing I started with was this clap. For the most part, it's a pretty simple pattern, but it has some switch ups towards the end of the bar, so it sounds like this. Let me play it. So yeah, right off the bat, these little claps over here and over here give it a different bounce than most standard trap beats because it doesn't hit where the traditional clap would over here. So I moved it up here and then over here. I just have a little bouncy little pattern right there. So yeah. Next thing I added were these hi-hats, once again from the Florence drum kit. It's just this little one-step pattern, but it has some little switch ups as well, so it sounds like this. As you can hear, the clap and the hi-hat mesh very well together, and that's kind of the main whole point with these kind of beats. Bounce is key, especially in these low BPM beats. You want to make sure you have as much bounce as possible. So yeah. So the next thing I added were these two open hats. So I have firstly this one playing on the one, and this one as an accent, so it sounds like this all together. So once again, pretty simple pattern. I feel like it really flows with the rest of the beat. So yeah. The next thing I added were these two chants. So this one sounds like this, and this one sounds like this. And they kind of just bounce off each other with everything else, so it sounds like this. And you see already, like, the chants give it so much more bounce, and everything just sounds very cohesive with each other. So yeah. The last thing I added before the 808 was this snare, once again from the Florence drum kit, and it kind of plays a pretty simple pattern as well, but I have a little roll at the end here, so this is what this sounds like. And yeah, so the last part of the drums, obviously the most important, the 808. This 808 pattern, once again, it's pretty simple, just follows the root notes. But I do some interesting bounces in the second half, so I'll let y'all listen to that. So yeah, the second half of the 808 pattern is pretty much the same as the first half, but I just pitched this one 808 up an octave. Well, I added this one 808 in here first, and then I pitched up an octave. So yeah. And then last but not least, I have another 808 for the verse. It's more of like a Zay kind of 808. It hits a little bit harder. And I changed up the pattern to have the 808s more constant as well. So this is what that sounds like. A little bit of sauce for y'all. You can do this in a couple different ways, like if you have it holded like this, but I like doing this ghost note thing here. So the way you do it is you place a note down, so like for example right here, and then you just double click on it and bring the velocity all the way down, and it'll just create like a ghost note thing. So when you hear it, it goes like that. No note there instead of, you know. You could also do that by just leaving nothing there, but I feel like it sounds cleaner with the ghost note. So yeah, those are pretty much all the drums that I added to this beat. Now let's get into arrangement. So for the intro, I don't have any drums here. I just have the melody playing, And there's a bass in the loop that Shark sent me, so I have the bass audible in the intro, so you can kind of hear that here. I didn't want the bass playing while the drums are playing though, so that's why I put an EQ to take it out while the drums come in. But yeah, for the hook, it's pretty much just the first 808 that I put and a couple of drum sounds. I took out one of the chants down here in the first half of the hook. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how you make a beat in the style of Dom Corleo and Destroy Lonely. Once again, shout out my brother Shark for sending me this loop over. It's also his birthday today, so if you're seeing this, make sure y'all wish Shark a happy birthday, you feel me? And speaking of upcoming dates, I'm dropping my own personal EP. It's called Reciprocation on May 9th. Make sure y'all go tune into that. Shark actually produced the 4th song on there. It's called All Stars. So, hey, when that drops, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all go check me out. You feel me? But yeah, I appreciate you for for watching. And yeah.